All right. Welcome, guys. Thank you, guys. Welcome to the Deep Rooted Ventilation Podcast. It's your boy, the Swollen Genius. I got a heavy crew with me today. I think we got some heavy hitters, man. First off, I want to recognize the brothers of Iota Phi Theta.
Lay.
That's what I'm talking about. Dr. Greg, how you doing today, brother? Welcome back.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back, cuz.
I appreciate it, man. And definitely got his brother on with us, Mr. Ivery Lewis. He's going to talk to us today about financial stability for the culture, for the people. We got to learn how to save our money and do better things with our money, right?
Straight facts.
Although Jordan 4s came out today, I really wanted, but I passed.
There you go, man.
I passed, okay? And of course, my co-host is with us today, Brother Butch Paul Johnson.
What's going on, y'all?
I think Burns gonna come on a little bit later, but we got to get started here. So, Brother Ivory, man, I really want to give you the floor, trying to introduce yourself, man, and kind of give us a foundation of what we need to do to be financially secure and stable for the future, man, for the culture, because it's easy to turn around and take that $200 and buy them AJ4s that was white with that cement gray today. As you see, my passion for that shoe.
Yeah.
You see the passion for that shoe. I passed on it, brother, because
you really want them Oreo 4s.
I did. It was beautiful. Did you see them?
Yeah, I seen them.
That's what I'm talking about. But I passed. So what else could I have done with that $200 plus, man? Talk to us, brother. Talk to us.
Well, I hate to do it, man, but I'm going to take you guys back in lieu of what happened in 2020 and the pandemic and everything else. A lot of people say it's racism, but it's less about racism, a whole lot more about placism. It's about you not having what you're supposed to have financially. I mean, we're kings and queens, man. We're supposed to be in a different position. And I know that each and every one of us could say the same thing. If and only if my family knew what I know now, would I be so much better off?
Right.
And I mean, the finances are one thing, but it's another thing about passing down good information. And our generations in the past, you've heard it over and over again, man. That's over 400 years of deeply systemic, whatever you want to call it. You can call it racism, whatever it is. But it's just one person trying to make more money off of another person's back. I don't care if you're white, black, purple, whatever. Finances are fine. Like it's a small part. It's an infantile part about what we talk about, man. I just try to get people to understand that you're supposed to have more. Although nobody can walk any further in your shoes than you have, because you're your own DNA, your own gene pool, whatever the case is. You've been through some stuff that nobody else can go through and go further than where you've been. So I could keep talking about that, but if you're talking about that $200, man, it's gonna have to be a little bit more pieces to the puzzle. And please throw away that Bitcoin conversation, because we're a little bit bigger than that. You see what I'm saying? So like,
oh, definitely.
There's
so
so many,
us, man. Tell us. So for an individual, if you sit and think about, I'll give you a number.
Sure.
In the last year during the pandemic, the government gave away a lot of money in these stimulus checks.
Yep.
If you were a parent that made less than $75,000, you got $1,400.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a child, it didn't matter if you had 2, 3, they gave you $1,400 per child. So if you take that money and think, what could a person done with that money to stabilize themselves?
So let's talk about stabilize. When I think about stabilizing yourself, I think about what does it take to buy a house, right? One of the things they talk about is you got to have 3 to 6 months. They want to see 6 to 12 months of your bank statements. Do you have any NSF fees? Do you have is your life set up? Do you have 3 to 6 months? Like, can you physically say that you have 3 to 6 months of what you spend, not what you make? Because a lot of people spend way more than they make trying to keep up with the Joneses across the street with the Escalade, Mercedes Benz. They might even have a boat trying to go to the lake, right? But if you make $400,000 and you spend $500,000, you're still broke. You're still living paycheck to paycheck, and we have to get out of that cycle.
Yes, sir.
Although I know you may love your Jordans, those Jordans that they're not gonna feed you, right? And that concept right there, it's almost like money burns through our pockets unless we have a goal to hit. And if you have a goal to hit of a full year of what you spend, not what you make, I call that stability.
There you go.
Sorry.
No, that's real. No, that's real.
I would
That's real
add,
deal.
fellas, let's not remember that if we're talking about how we are investing the money that we got for the government, we are talking about being in privileged positions that not everybody is at. So individuals that got that money, not everyone's going to be able to take that 1400, 28, 32, whatever you got. If you really were hit by the pandemic, the way that amount of money was supposed to be given for, then you wouldn't really able to save much of that. You were using it for what you needed to do, so you don't lose that house. Because like I said, if you already living paycheck to paycheck, that was just trying to help you. That was a band-aid to get you to the next one. So I don't want us to forget the fact that as we are moving forward, we also got to remember we got to start where we're at, right? And so if you get 1,400 and you can only put 200 away, then that 200 has to go to that larger goal Ivory was mentioning, right? Like if you don't have that larger goal and you don't know what you're saving for, then you ain't saving nothing.
Very factual. Very factual. So what do we do? Where do we go for our people? What do we do? How do we get them to understand that saving is the essence of the future, right? And you made a comment. Look who just joined the show.
B did it.
What's up, man?
Brother
My
Baron
apologies.
Darden.
My lateness was good. Why we on these 3 steps?
Value.
Time is an essence.
It's all right.
Very true.
It's going to be a hard time, man. So, welcome, Brother Baron Darden here. He is one of our co-hosts. We call him BD, no cap to what he does in school. We have Brother Avery Lewis on with us, man. He is a brother of Iota Phi Theta. And of course, Dr. Gregory Diggs, who has joined us again on the show. We're talking about financial stability and how to achieve, basically stop trying to live from check to check, man.
All right. I got a question. Like everybody either get paid every week or every 2 weeks. So out of each check that you get, either every 2 weeks or every week, how much money should you put aside out of that check so you can get that, that growth, that, what I'm saying, and not live check to check, stuff like that?
Good question.
Because I'm trying to get there. Personally, man, if I got loose dollars at the end of the day, man, I'll throw them in a shoebox or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I need more information because I'm learning too. As I get older, I'm trying to get there.
So, Nate, my man, Paul, right?
Yeah.
I'll say this, and the reason why I'm going back further versus talking about investments is because I know my family didn't know how to save properly. What do I put away, right? When I got married August, almost 14 years ago. Dr. Diggs was one of my best men in my wedding. My father-in-law told me something that stuck with me. He was like, if you can pay all your bills with one check and save the other check, you win that. That's your ultimate goal. If you're putting partnerships together, like why do people come from other countries and have 4, 5, 10 people in a whole house and actually be able to go buy multiple houses, multiple properties? Because they're saving that money, but they have a goal and their family knows the goal. So, I mean, I can teach you, I can talk to you about all different types of investments, but if you don't have that mentality to, use one check for your bills, and I got another golden rule. It's a golden rule. It's all about cash flow. Either make more money or manage what you got. I'll say it again, make more money or manage what you got. And a lot of people don't want to make more money, but they'll just manage what they have until you just eating top ramen. No, sometimes you got to get up off it. You got to do something else, because if your life is stretching, your money has to stretch that much further, or else you got to go make some more money. You might be in the wrong place. Somebody didn't get you didn't get a raise for 5 years, man. Like, it's time. You're worth more.
Brother Ivery, you said something that kind of resonates that I need to speak on. We have to speak on that. Culturally, we're not taught. You stated that you were not taught how to save, but your father-in-law said something to you that resonated with you that made you think. Now, that's one thing I have to say. We're not taught how to save. Not one time did my mom, my dad, or my granny, who I was raised by, sit down with me and say, you make $100, try to save 30 of that 100.
Yeah.
Nobody says that to you.
Yeah.
Even if you think about the years you were educated through public school, elementary, middle, and high, they teach you the value of the dollar. You know, right? A dollar bill is worth $1. A quarter is 25 cents. Baron Darden, you're in middle school. A dime is 10 cents, right? These are things that you're taught. But how often do you guys actually teach balancing a checkbook, the importance of savings, an annuity, funds? These things are not taught.
Let me hop in here then. Let me hop in
Please.
here. Couple of things, I love Ivory and I have conversations like this on a regular, right? We are just, this is we could just sit here and give you a summary of what we talk about and and fill up the whole time we have. But I want to bring up a point here. Two things, right? Number one, I'm half Korean, as you brothers already made fun of me last podcast about. But but understanding that Korean community out here and understanding how that ethnic enclave has come and pretty much created this environment. If you look at the country of Korea, it is 1/4 the size of California. 1/4 the size of the California, and it's continuously between the 10th and the 13th largest economy in the world. How does a country that small have an economy that big? And then when we see a lot of the ethnic enclaves such as the Korean community come to the U.S., they are up there. They're doing the things that Ivory had just said, right? They are, living there. Like culturally in Korea, you don't really leave your family until you get married. You live with your family. It ain't no, I don't want no scrub business going on there. It's like, nah, this is culturally what we accept. And you bring the money into the family, and the family uses that money just like we would do with collecting people's money and putting it into an investment account. So that mentality is there. But I want to challenge something that based on my experience living in our Black community. When I was growing up, we went to Mount Hermon Baptist Church in East Chicago, Indiana. If anybody knows East Chicago, and I remember they had it was like a yard show or whatever they do. They be selling stuff at the church on Sundays. And I used to say, yeah, there it is. I used to say all the time. It was all about money, and my family would say, "Greg ain't gonna buy nothing because he just be saving money." And I remember it wasn't the fact that I had to be taught how to save money. It was the fact that I was exposed to how to spend money. And I was constantly being hit with like, oh, you want that. You look good in that. Oh, that is going to be dope. Oh, you're going to be fly going to school with that. People are going to look at you in this way when you have that. Right, which is why when we think about the Black community, we have more brothers and sisters that will own a new car before they own a home. So it's this idea of not so much of what we've learned that we need to learn to save. We need to unlearn how to spend. So we're not buying those things that we need to say. So I would put a twist on that. And in doing that, I don't know if you've seen any of these commercials already out there, but we got things like Acorn. Google is already doing not Google, but there's some company out there where you can buy like portions of stock, right? $5. Yes, that. So there's economists and folks that are way wiser than us have been already thinking about how can we take this pocket change, because that idea of that collective money, right? That community pot. How can we take that? The banks have been doing it all the time, right? That's why they can take your money to keep it in the bank, so they can take all your money and they can use it to invest in other things. So people have just run that back to the people through apps and whatnot. But none of that is going to mean anything if you don't learn how to unspend so that you can have a goal and start saving.
Spend like that. Very. Hey, thank you.
Very informative.
That
Very.
is informative
Like
for
that.
real, man. You know what? I second a lot of that and what you all saying. A lot of that, man, came from me. I had to learn that, not like you said, not to spend. As I got older, I learned that. When I was younger, we wanted to keep up with the fashion and different things like that. So now I wasn't taught that growing up. Hey, I was regular single parent household, mother lived check to check. Wasn't, what I'm saying, wasn't taught about saving, nor was my wife. So as we got older and started having kids, we got tired of living that way. So we just had to start learning to do things differently. And now, my son is 10, my oldest son is 10, and my youngest is 7. So we're teaching them now the value of having money. So they both have debit cards right now. So, they do their allowance, they get paid for it. And, my oldest, he's learning, he wants to spend and spend and spend. And my youngest to save his money for what he wants, But it's just a different mindset at that time. So we got to teach them how to and teach the value of the dollar and teach, hey, you know what? You don't have to, just because you have money, you don't have to spend the money. And that's what, that's what we're learning. So now we live off the 80-10-10, live off the 80%, tie 10%, and save 10%. So, Paul, going back to your question, earlier, that's how we just decided to do it. So first thing I know I do for mine is pay my tithes and then put my money up in savings and then, let the rest off my bills and everything like that. So doing that for my family has worked for us. I'm not saying it's gonna work for everybody, but it's worked for us. So
Yeah. So with myself, it's kind of the same. There are times where I will, I'll say, reward myself, right? But for the most part, what I have going in my savings account goes into a savings account. It is untouchable by anyone, not even myself. I've had to tell siblings of mine to unlink your savings account to your debit card because it gives you a false narrative that you have money. And it's the truth. The first thing you do is you look in your checking account and, oh, I'm down to $15. Oh, there's $200. And then you transfer in money. Before you know it, you don't even have a savings account. But I really like that idea of we have to teach ourselves to stop spending. And we do have a habit of just spending. And I don't know who in the hell told the Joneses that they were the ones to keep up with in the first place. I would really truly like to know who told everybody that the Joneses was the people to keep up with anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
You know,
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
let me jump in for a sec, and I'm going to pose a question to you fellas, and I think you'll understand. You just can't be what you can't see, and I've seen this throughout my years in life. And you got people that you look up to, and one of the few ways you can get out of at least my neighborhood was basketball, football, or you be a doctor, a lawyer, whatever the case is, right? But um, you got to look at your life in three different ways. You got an emergency account. We talked about that, 3 to 6 months. If you don't have a full month of what you spend, not what you make, you cannot buy anything until you get that. I'll say it again. If you don't have a full month of what you spend, not what you make, somewhere that you can touch as liquid, because something's always happening. So
Right.
then you build that up to 3 months, and then you build it up to 6 months. If you're really good, you run a business, you're gonna have some good years, some bad years. So you got to have a full year of what you spent. And then you got your midterm accounts, right? You want to be able to buy that house, you want to be able to buy that car, that property, go on travel and trips with your family. Don't just go because you want to. You actually put that in your budget and you save for that. So my final thing is your FIN number, your financial independence number. You got to be able to say, I'm going to work until this amount of time. This is what's going to happen. I want to retire by 60. I want to retire by 55. What does it take? So I really do love what you talked about with the 80-10-10. I believe that I'm a tither myself. You got to tithe, you got to give some offerings. But that other 10 might not be what your life is. Like what's your goal? When do you want to retire? How much are you putting towards that? So you take your discretionary, whatever you got left over. That means after the core bills, not foo-foo. I'm talking about core expenses to pay. Meaning that if you don't pay that, something's gonna happen. Something's getting cut off, right? You pay those core bills, and whatever you bring in, whatever's left over, I probably say you should have half of that going towards those three buckets. Not a number, not a percentage, but half of that going towards those three buckets. And
Brother Ivory, do me a favor.
Talk to me.
Please touch on the FIN number, because I'll be honest, that's something that I have never thought about.
Okay.
What
All
is
right.
my stopping point? At what point do I want to say, I'm done, I want to retire? Instead, I think a lot of us have the mentality and mindset, which we have to change, right? That we're just going to work till we're dead,
Mm. Come on, man.
right? A lot
It's
of us
too
have that mindset. So please touch on that for me.
it's
Give
too
an
many
understanding of that.
it's too many investment vehicles out here for you to think like that. And I can't get into it based off of a plethora of reasons, licenses and stuff like that. But if I were to tell you a blanket statement and it wasn't true for everybody, then it comes back on me. So I'll just say it like this: your FIN number, your financial independence number, is when you turn on your retirement, and it will never stop. You will have money until you pass away, and then you will have money to pass to your next generation. Because, as the Bible says, you got to take care of your children's children. It might not be financially, but it's got to be mentally, right? And for far too long, we've been doing these car washes, chicken dinners, and all this other stuff, GoFundMe's. We got to be able to pass something on to our next generation.
Right.
So your FIN number, it might mean that you have to work until 67. We'll back engineer through different programs, different investment opportunities, and figure out how I'm going to hit that for you with tax advantage programs, tax exempt programs, and taxable programs. Some people have their 401ks at their jobs. I tell you, it's not a bad deal as long as they're matching you, right? But if they're not matching you, why are you putting money into a 401k or 457 plan and you're going to get hit with taxes later on? It's not age tax, it's income tax. And you haven't been hit with it yet. So, yeah, I could jump into it. But my final piece is, man, time, rate of return, and taxes, man. You got to be in a position where your money's got to make a little money. If it don't make sense. If you got your money sitting somewhere and it's getting moldy, inflation is 4.99%. If you're not making that, you got to talk to somebody.
Wow. Education. That's education for you right there, brother. Man, we really appreciate you coming on, man. Please tell us how can you be reached? Followed or anything, Instagram, YouTube. What do you have for us?
Instagram is Ivery40, Ivery40. I'm a big guy. I got a couple of websites, but yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. Hit me in the DMs, and I can give you whatever you need. Again, it's one of those things where I found that some people charge, man, and I don't find it right to charge. I ask my people to give me referrals.
There you have it.
That's always kept me in a position where I no longer have to cold call, door knock. And believe it or not, I'm from Danville, Illinois, and I'm out here in Westlake Village, California, in between where the Kardashians are in Calabasas and Will Smith and all that. I don't know how I got here, but I did something right. I've been in the industry for 17 years. So,
no, that's right. Appreciate you. Yes, y'all heard him. Ivery, Ivery 40 on Instagram. He said it goes down in the DMs. It goes down in the DMs. So listen, man, we're gonna move around a little bit here, man. I got a question for you guys. So last week I started asking these guys these questions, and I just kind of want to get your take on it, right? So first off, what is your take? Federal holiday for Juneteenth. And you educated, brothers. I expect something out of you guys. I know it. Come on, man. What's your honest take on it? Do you feel like it was passed to pacify us?
Man, okay. I didn't want to go here, but it's sort of funny when Martin Luther King was talking about peace and equality and everything. He was good with the government, but when he started talking about money, things happen. Right. It's just a big shuffle. You shuffle around and you look over at the shiny stuff and you forget that your house is burning down. There's so many people that just need to pay attention to themselves. It's not about what's happening in the White House. It's what's happening in your house. If you're not going to take care of you, if you're not going to take care of your finances, at least get somebody to help you with it. That's my take.
Great. Come on, Dr. Gregory.
Juneteenth is a pacifier for real. It's a glorified pacifier where you can take a photo op and get some people in the church happy, and yeah.
I mean, I think it's a photo op if that's what you're looking for it to be. Right. I mean, I think for a lot of us or a lot of folks that recognize the history of slavery and that recognize the history of the atrocity that's been done to the black community, and especially to the black community and those of us that are extended parts of the black community. And what I mean by that is those of us that are descendants of slave, and then those of us that have come and have been identified as black and put into that black category. And that I'm talking about my brothers and sisters that have immigrated here from Africa and Nigeria and who Ethiopia, and they come and they bring their ethnic identity, but America will slot them in this in a black category. And so, I appreciate that it's out there. It I'm interested to see what happens in the future as these celebrations start to become national and larger, as we move on in the future. Um, I don't really have an opinion on why they did it. I'm just appreciative that they've done it and it's an acknowledgement. And I would like to, and I guess I'll answer the question with the question is, what are we going to do with it? What are we gonna do with it? For MLK Day, which it's a U.S. national holiday, but in our community, that's the day where we come together. We say it's a day on, not a day off, right? We're taking that time that we've been giving off from our from a federal perspective, and we've been doing things back in our community. We have another day that's recognized, and what are we gonna do with it? We've already had people have been celebrating Juneteenth before it became a federal holiday.
Thanks.
Right. And it's been celebrations, right? And so what do we do with those celebrations? Are we gonna, as we say in IOTA, are we going to build a tradition and not rest upon one? Or are we going to just let it be another day where we're just having a cookout with the family, right? So I kind of bring it back to, now that this has passed, what are we going to do? Are we going to our local communities and saying, hey, we're going to this is a federal holiday. What can we do at the local level to show that there is a community effort, that there's a unity effort here to celebrate this? So, I don't really get caught up on why it's done. I'm at the point now that I'm like, what are we going to do with what we have?
Okay. Okay. All right. Do you think we will take Juneteenth and it will become another Cinco de Mayo? Culturally, and that's what I'm asking now, because
Cinco de Mayo actually is based on it comes from another country. That's a holiday celebrated in a country that those that have immigrated and have grown up here, our Latinx individuals that are here, that is a holiday from a country that is here.
right.
Juneteenth is a holiday that has been created here. We didn't get that from anywhere else, right? We didn't import that from anywhere else. That is a U.S. based holiday on U.S. based history on all that has happened in the U.S. So we are responsible for it. No one has given us this holiday. This is a holiday that we have celebrated as a community, and it's just now being recognized at the national level. So I don't think it's going to be another Cinco de Mayo because the history of it isn't something that's important. This is a history that we all are a part of. If it becomes a history of Cinco de Mayo, it's because we let it become one, or we took it there, or we let someone else take it there for us, right? We don't have a lot of opportunities where we can say we've created our own at a national level, right? We have our culture that has been appropriated in music, appropriated in a lot of the other areas of art, but now we have a holiday that is not appropriate by anybody. What are we gonna do with it?
Man, he on here preaching today, boy.
About.
I need a comedy break, man. He got me too excited over here. Somebody telling a joke. What?
I love it.
What he
All
said.
right, all right. I like it. I like it. What's your thought? What's your thing? What's your take on it, Bear?
It's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. As soon as you talked about it, I started thinking about my sons, and I started thinking about I got a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I've yet to have the conversation, and Juneteenth, it means a lot It definitely does, but we just got work to do, man. We got so much work to do, and then not only keeping our children safe, because it's way beyond us. Like, listen, I don't know how many of you guys have kids or not, but it's way beyond us, and we gotta do some stuff where it's gonna be not only safer, but a better environment and a better opportunity for our kids. And I want them to take that on their back. And I constantly think that if I was back in the day with Martin Luther King and all them, would I be marching? I'd say no, because I got to come home. I got to come home to my kids. But there was a whole lot of people behind closed doors pulling strings. And that's where I see myself in today. So I constantly try to figure out how I can do more, get out in the community and do certain things. So,
well, brother
I
Ivery, you said it right there. I don't think it's way beyond us, because it is us. We are the ones that make it, right? Everything you do with my little nephews over that you got over there with your children, everything is about what we do, right? Those kids are your kids are part of the community. We're all part of this community. We are. It's not beyond us. It is us. And I think when we think about like politics and government, kind of shifting the idea here. But a lot of times we think that it's the politicians that are up there that are doing it. But they might be doing it at the federal level, but most of the laws and policies are done at our local level, right? If we're not involved in those, then you can't turn around the scapegoat and say it's somebody else, right? It's us. We are part of it. Like, whether you are directly in the community, whether you're directly in the planning, whether you're directly in organization, you live in it. It is you. Nothing. We have the power these days. All we have to do is start acting in it. Execute. Ivory, we say this all the time. You got to walk in your blessing, right? You got to walk in what you are about. If we have this, and we have to make sure we recognize that we are part of this. We can't let it happen to us. We are part of what is happening, and that changes everything.
True that. There we have it. That is what's up, man. I appreciate you guys' take on that. I got another one for you guys.
I'm glad you on it twice, Nate.
I know, yeah. I just turned on the camera.
It twice.
Double down, baby. So listen, on a serious note though, this one is not as serious though, man. Everybody was either raised by their mom or their grandmother, right? So what was your mom or your granny's favorite saying to you? It's all right, Ivory, to be explicit. It's okay, bro.
Oh yeah. Okay, so hard head make a soft. There you go. It is.
Hard head make a soft ass. Yeah,
I got big real quick. Let me tell you about me. I was a guy that was. I played chess. I was a grandmaster in elementary school. I got to sit in the same room as Bobby Fischer, and I had like a whole different group of people. I had like that group, but I also could play football. I got cut like back in the day, and I got a chance to go to University of Illinois and some other stuff. And like I was different. I was way different. So my mother realized real quick she's just gonna make me run, and that only made me bigger. Like anytime I got in trouble, we had a practice football field that was like 5 football fields together, make me run around that. Like, so I got calves and everything else, man. So yeah, hard head, make a soft ass. There you go.
Come on, Paul. What was it, brother?
Man, it's too many. Too many to name.
You ain't got one?
Nah, it's too many to name, bro. Hey, I'll think of one though. Go ahead. What about you, Bird?
Man, hard head make a soft ass, and close that damn door, quick air condition the whole damn neighborhood. I mean, hey, Nate, you know my mama, man. You know how she is. And
your mom is a trip.
Plus, being from New York, she had that accent, so it was.
Man, I got one.
Okay.
They used to. My mother used to say, "Don't, you better be home before them street lights come on."
And that was normal. That was everybody.
Man, don't let them beat you home.
Yeah. So here's mine, man. So one from I was raised by my granny. So she used to tell me all the time, you thought like Randy, you thought cat shit was candy. Right? And when it was time to go to bed, it was always, I want it so quiet in here, I want to hear rat piss on cotton. Right?
Why didn't you church now?
I agree. Come on, brother.
I got one for you. Since y'all trying to exclude me, thinking I ain't got no black grandma.
Come on now. Come on. I know your family. Come on now.
That's right. That's right. Yo, one of them is I ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
Yeah.
And the other one she used to say all the time is a child that's bored got issues.
Wow.
Oh, I got one, man. My mother used to lie. I think at the time she confused me. She was like, "It's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you." I'm like, "Yeah, right. This is not like you are no." And look, you turn around, you look confused, like, really, really.
Right, you getting enjoyment out of this.
Man,
You getting so much enjoyment out of this.
Go pick your own switch. That's too small.
Man.
Now you gonna put a rubber band on a whole bunch of braided switches. Like, I feel bad. Maybe it's past that story. We good.
Hey, but look at where we all are now, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
It did something for us, right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I remember them braided switches, man. Going to my grandmother's house in Georgia. Hey,
with the rubber bands on the bottom look like a handle grip. Like,
yeah. And they would braid them up, and she'd be like, "Hey, so you gonna get the little one?" She got hip and just put out that big one and she sat next to her chair. It was a wrap, man. So,
that's funny. Hey, my peoples used to name their belts. Got Big Luther. Man.
Big Luther.
Big Luther. Hey, Little Luther did. Hey, they had all types of names for belts, bro.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's horrible when they pulling out the extension cord though. That's when you know that stuff.
That's how you know you didn't really been through it. Through the storm there, right?
I see somebody get hit with a broom.
I used to break out running through the door the door, man. My granny used to have an arm on her. She'd pick up whatever and throw at you out the door. It didn't matter.
I had a cast iron skillet thrown at my head, man. I ducked that right on time. Put a big hole in the wall there, man. I don't know. She kept me straight though.
Kept us all there, brother. That was the difference in what we are in now, though, right? Where the community took care of you as well, right? Mm-hmm. Get that whooping down the street. They call you if you get home, you're gonna get beat again, right? Mm-hmm. So hey, B, how's it going in school, brother?
Man, right now, it's cool. I'm at an elementary school for the summer. Running that program. It's called a backpack league here, and just heading that program up in that school right now. But it's actually we finished up our second week. It's actually running really smooth over there where I'm at. So,
Now, are you guys at 100% or what's the ratio, the capacity?
No, right now we sit about 115 a day. We had 175 enrolled, but about 115 show up daily.
So you're going back 100% in August?
That's what it looks like. I mean, the backpack league was actually designed. It goes from, well, at least for my school, elementary, it goes from 9 to 4 daily. And it was designed to, help kids with literacy, improve their literacy, and also help them recover what they lost during COVID, during NTI.
Right.
So, I mean,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So what happened with the children, man, that, they were doing NTI that were not doing well? Did they still pass, or, how was that graded?
Man, a lot of it, some kids struggle, and kids, some of you really couldn't help out or pass through if they didn't show up and do anything. But if they came back into the building, and also we got in contact with their family, we did everything we could to actually recover their grades and everything. So the last 8 to 10 weeks that we were in school, it was pretty much recovery. So everything that we missed, we tried to make up for them. So it wasn't, I'm not going to say it was the best system ever, but at the same time, we did what we could. Okay. And, a lot of things people depending on, a lot of the teachers and school staff to get their kids through. And, because they were working, they were like NTI, but at the same time, we would tell them, I'm a parent myself. And I had to help my wife is in the school system as well. So we had to sit down with our kids and do NTI and bill meetings at the same time. And do this. I mean, it wasn't easy. We know that for sure.
Right.
Honestly, man, when they come back, being in the school system going on my 14th year, it's going to be a struggle. I believe so. Due to the fact a lot of kids were behind before the pandemic hit, and then after the pandemic. And I mean, man, it's going to be an adjustment. A lot of kids haven't been in a school building over a year and a half. So it's gonna be a lot of behavior issues for my eyes. It will be, and just readjustments. So I mean, hey, next month
Gotta
we
make the best of it.
Yeah, we make the best of it, man. I mean, honestly, this is what I signed up for, man. So it's not a job to me; it's my passion. It's what I love to do. So, hey, go in there and do the best of my ability.
Sir, that's what's up,
Thank you, man.
Wish
Appreciate
you
it.
well in that, brother. Wish you well. Brother Barron has been trying to get me to come teach. I can't do it. I'm the type of brother who would hit one of them kids in the back of their fucking head. Oh,
Hey,
sit down.
I know it's true. So I just stopped. I said, "Don't worry about it, bro. You can just come to my school and holler at me, dog."
Think about my kids. I'd be like, sit down. Just go sit down. And that is what's up, man. Well, listen, brothers, we have an opportunity on the podcast to actually do some sponsorships. And I ran across one that I want to try a commercial on you guys. So I want you guys to listen to this sponsorship and you tell me what you think. So whenever you do a sponsorship, they have a variety of different proposals that you can send, right? So they give you a couple of options. For example, you have an option of actually having someone come on the show and you kind of interview them about the product. Or we can do commercials. One when at the beginning of the show or in the middle when the guests are mostly engaged. So I signed up for this one, 4 episodes, and we can actually set our own fees. And we're going to actually do a commercial. And it starts off by this, this segment is sponsored by, right? And this company is actually called Red Hot Panties. I thought you'd like that. So the commercial, let me read it for you guys. Are you into me like I'm into you? Yes. Are you ready to do what I'm ready to do? Yes. Well, try Red Hot Panties. It'll give you a sparkle. What'd you guys think?
Man.
Hey, where you going, Brother Ivery?
That's A+, man.
Hey, I appreciate that, man.
You might get some extra bonus stuff right there. You might get on somebody else.
Part work though? Did it work?
It got the ad-libs and everything.
The first thing I thought about when you said Red Hot Panties was those Red Hot candies in some edible panties.
Oh God, Lee.
I was like, yo, you gonna win straight kinky on this one.
Hey man, you gotta go where the money is, brother. You gotta go where the money is, man. But it's crazy, man. I thought it was great. I'm really happy where the podcast is going, man. All in all, but that commercial is gonna be awesome. Yeah, I sent in a proposal for 4 commercials. We'll see if we get it. I even did a recording, Barry. Just an FYI for you.
It's crazy, man.
I thought it was cool, man. You like it, didn't you, Barry? You really did like it. I can tell by your smile.
Hey, now look. You don't even surprise me no more, bro. I knew you was gonna do something crazy, so.
every show, you know that, brother. You know I'm gonna do something every show.
This is very true. Very true.
I know Brother Ivery's like, what the hell did I get myself into?
No, man. Y'all real. I love it.
I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate it.
Well, we really appreciate you coming on, Brother Ivery. It has been a blessing. We definitely gonna get you back on the show on a later show, man. Ivery40 on Instagram. Please check him out. Hit him in the DMs. He's gonna give you information, and all the man asks for is referrals. Referral is the best thing that you can give somebody, right?
I'll definitely be hitting you up, man.
Any plans for you guys for the 4th, man? Anything?
Nah, man.
Going to see some fireworks tonight. Get some barbecue in my system tomorrow.
Sir.
And relax and watch a couple of basketball games. I don't know. You know what? Before we do leave, who you got winning the NBA championship? Is it going to be Chris Paul or is it going to be?
Ooh.
It's Phoenix, man.
It looks like Phoenix right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one.
I mean, if Milwaukee win tonight, they're going to go in there injured, man, hampered and everything. Yeah. So I don't know.
Hey, but Phoenix got all the pieces though right now. Chris Paul, they got a center, got a 3-point shooter in Devin Booker. Hey, And old Cameron Payne from Murray State. You know, I gotta shout out Murray State.
Murray State in the house.
You know
I
what I'm
see.
saying? You know what I'm saying? I
All
gotta
right.
shout out Murray State where I graduated from, you know. But yeah, they looking good. So I think I'm gonna go with the Suns too.
Phoenix.
I like to see Milwaukee in the Suns, for real. Be honest with you. I don't know, man. It's just a matchup thing for me. I don't know. I honestly, I'm a big fan of Drew Holiday. I think he's one of the best
Yeah.
two-way players in the league.
Yeah. You
You
don't
know,
get
he-
enough credit.
You know,
do
he
not
can
get
lock
enough
players
credit.
down. He's gonna give you what he has all the time. Chris Middleton's tough, man. He's real tough. And you know, Giannis gonna do what he does. So
And but
If he plays.
right.
sure.
But with Giannis, man, all you gotta do is, as long as you don't give him no full head of steam, I would kind of in the half court game, I would back off of him.
The
Make
only
you shoot that
MVP
jump.
I know that can shoot free throws and air ball and nobody
Right.
say nothing.
Make him
Just
shoot
saying,
that
he done
jump.
he done shot like 6 air balls from free throw land in the playoffs, and everybody's like, "Yeah, it's just him." Nah,
Facts.
Yeah, we know he
not
can't shoot.
MVP.
Straight facts.
We know he can't shoot.
That's
Facts.
true.
I
You
mean,
gotta
but
give it to Phoenix, man. I think
You
this
know.
is finally CP3's year.
Yeah,
That's where it's
I get it.
I ain't got no dog in this fight, y'all. So I just want to be good. I want to be good, but I do want to mention something. I didn't notice this last time. Since y'all in the studio now, y'all got this lighting, brother BD. Anyone tell you look like Snoop Dogg? Uncle Snoop.
my God. It's
Where's the ball hitting Snoop Dogg?
Oh man, I'm looking at you now. I'm like, maybe it's just the green behind you, but I'm like,
I think it's the green, man. You know, I'm too. Hey, man, Snoop,
y'all know him in person though. I mean,
right.
right. I'm looking at him from here. He turning these angles. I'm like, man, he looks like Snoop.
Hey, man.
I don't
Snoop,
know,
Greg
man.
High.
Snoop about
Greg
12
High.
pounds. I'm 315 pounds, man. So, hey, if I look like Snoop, I'm the big dog then, I guess.
Oh wait. Wait. You brother be the Paul, man. I meant Paul. My fault.
Okay.
man.
Paul. Okay.
Man, I look like Snoop.
Yeah, man.
Now,
You-
now I ain't got Snoop before, but I got old dude that is in the Marvel series. And
Yeah,
played Clark
yeah.
Kent.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Mackie.
That I can see that.
I can
If you
see that.
if you shave, I can see that.
Yeah, I usually do. I'm just doing a little something different with the beard, you know, trying a little something.
I'm not gonna comment, B. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Hey, I was
Leave it
waiting for
alone.
it, Bert. Hey, I'm waiting
not gonna
for it.
comment on
Hey,
this.
dog, look.
Try to
I
throw him a
can't
loop.
mess with him. I ain't shaved in like 3 weeks. I know he gonna say something.
It's a pandemic.
Okay. Yeah, he hit me up like a couple weeks ago. I was like, "Hey, bro, you like the old, just nasty uncle around here." Just with
Yeah,
that
he
beard.
did. I mean, he really did. He sent me a message on Marco Polo, and I told him, I said, "You look like a guy down the street to be hollering, hey, let me see if I'm a city for 10 minutes."
I gotta ask the question, man. Whose idea was it to do the podcast? Because y'all got an energy that's just like unseen. I've seen a couple of them, but whose idea? Who made it happen? Whose idea was it?
It was my idea. I've been talking about doing a podcast for a while, and I really wanted to recognize Black people that I knew, man, that were doing successful things in their careers. That's where the hometown hero portion comes about that you hear in some of the episodes. Got a lot of frat brothers, a lot of friends, colleagues, peers, man, that have done amazing things. They've sacrificed a lot of things in their careers to get where they are. And I really wanted to recognize that, but I wanted it to also be fun and enlightening, right? So that's why you see a variety of different things in each episode, but I try to have a little fun in it as well. So I asked Paul and Baron to come on with me, two of my really good friends. They are my brothers, not only as fraternity brothers, but they are my brothers from another mother, man, that I love dearly.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to
Straight
go on the
facts.
journey with me. And it's been amazing. It really has been amazing, man. And we try to keep the same energy. Brother Dr. Greg's here is actually a family member. He is a cousin to my wife. So, I try to bring on people who have different perspectives and points of views than I have. But at the same time, I want to be educational, but I also want to have some fun, man. By every means, this is it's an explicit show. Please be yourself. But at the same time, let's have some fun. Let's educate each other, man. And I want to take something from everybody that I meet, right? And you never know what you're gonna take from a person or who you're gonna meet, or, you know, people that you cross, you know, that you cross around. So man, that's kind of the point of the show, for real. That's the point of the show.
$1 million moves, man. It's
I
coming.
appreciate it. I
$1 million
appreciate
moves.
it. Hopefully it'll be a part of my retirement, but I love it, man. I love being able to come on the show and kick it with people and talk shit. But at the same time, learn some good stuff, man. For real, brother. I learned from one of my brothers, Cyrus, man. I learned a lot of stuff about real estate, yourself, financial. And Greg has hit me on some educational shit. I'd be like, damn, I didn't think about that. And then I feel like a fool, you know what I'm saying? But that's the point of the show, is that we gonna come together as brothers, as a culture, man, and do some big things. So yes, sir, and I appreciate you. I definitely do appreciate
Each one teach one.
Yes, sir. And last, before we go, man, I gotta give a shout out to the wife. The wife is gonna do a women's takeover of the show, and she's been setting this up. And look, Greg laughing. Greg, she's been setting this up, man. She's gonna do her recording August the 7th. So there will be a women's takeover of Deep Rooted Ventilation podcast, and it's going to be about women's empowerment and self-love. Okay, so women
just want to come back and everything's intact and no red table moments or anything like that would be good, right?
Hey, listen, brother, I'm probably gonna be in trouble on this show because it's a women's takeover.
Oh man,
you know what's going to happen? It's gonna be a male. It probably won't be a male bashing session. She's actually looking for women's wellness is what she's calling it. Her show's gonna be about women's wellness. I think it was gonna be about plastic dicks and orgasms. But I think that has changed. It has now gone to women empowerment and self-care is what the women's takeover is going to be about. Deep-rooted ventilation. Holla at your boy.
Yo.